just heard this about Mike Nolan. He has been let go by the Cowboys. The Cowboys defensive coordinator has been fired. Marcus, I'll start with you on this. With all of the woes that the Cowboys faced this year, defense and Mike Nolan, top of the list, they've now decided to move on from him.
I mean, what y'all wanted me to say? It should have happened. Like,
Wow.
I mean, we all watched the Dallas Cowboys play defense.
Damn.
But on a serious note, like, this wasn't what he tried to implement from a defensive standpoint was not suited to the personnel that the Dallas Cowboys have. This was a 4-3 up the field football team for the last 4 years with Rob Marinelli. They were attacking aggressive. When we saw DeMarcus Lawrence being one of the best defensive ends in the league, he was rushing 95% of the time as opposed to dropping out or trying to play some semblance of a 5-2 look, what they did this year. It was too much that first of all, thrown on their plate without an offseason. The team did not fit the personnel that you had, and this was the inevitable outcome of what we watched the Cowboys, how we watched them perform defensively. So Mike Nolan had to go. He said he wasn't going to fire McCarthy, but somebody had to get damn fired after this season.
Somebody.
Ryan, what do you think?
Damn.
No, 100%. Somebody had to go, Laura, and why not Mike Nolan? When you look at this defense, here is when I look at coaches and I say, you know what, you're probably not a good coach. When the people you know are really good football players look like a really bad football players. When you can't adjust your scheme, when you can't understand what type of guys you have on your team and allow them to excel. Mike Nolan couldn't do that. And on a team that had many reasons to be absolutely terrible, this was the largest reason. Now you get a chance to reset. You hope you get an off season, but more importantly, you find someone that knows how to maximize the potential of the athletes you have on that side of the football.
Let's bring in Phil Yates with more on this. Of course, this news coming down just now, first reported by Fox Sports, that Mike Nolan, the defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys, has been fired. Phil, what more can you tell us about the decision?
Yeah, Laura, a lot of people around the NFL anticipated some sort of change for the Cowboys.
You think?
When you're in the NFL, you start with 4 principal people. Is it the quarterback's fault? Nope, that's not the case here in Dallas. Is it the head coach's fault? It might be, but Jerry Jones, the owner, has backed Mike McCarthy. Then you go to the coordinators. We've got one coordinator in Kellen Moore who just got a new extension and is a coveted coaching prospect in his own right.
Future head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
And both Swagoo and Ryan spelled it out correctly. This was a doomed marriage from the beginning, an historically bad performance from the Cowboys this year. Too many players making too much money, looking like they had just
I think he's saying we're trash
in the NFL this year for Dallas. Somebody had to go.
Phil.
Change was inevitable. Mike Nolan is the person who is the odd man out in this dynamic.
And I'll say this, spinning it forward, whoever comes in and replaces him is going to have to fix this without outside resources, because this defense is what it is. Like, they're pretty much capped out, especially after they pay Dak Prescott. They've already given out big contracts to the running back, the wide receiver, DeMarcus Lawrence. They can't go adding players. You know, they let Byron Jones walk. So maybe the draft can help on defense, but for the most part, whoever comes in as a new coordinator is going to have to make do with what they have.
Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally, and I mean literally, does not work. The Dallas Cowboys said to Mike Nolan,
You're fired!
they said you're fired. So, guys, let's get open for business here and let's wake up the football gods. You know, the one thing that's great about the Dallas Cowboys is the fact that there's no offseason. There's always stuff to talk about with the Dallas Cowboys. Here it is. Tomorrow starts 3 playoff games. First time 3 playoff games on a Saturday, 3 playoff games on a Sunday. And here we are talking about what?
1, 4, and 8.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter what time it is. Look, we got 6 playoff games, and we're up. There's one of my ladies.
That's an easy one.
What's up, Dak fan? How you doing? And I know I saw Lola up in here. And I may have missed some of the ladies, so just in case I missed you, go ahead and leave another little memo. Say, hey. Say, hey, I'm here. but let me make sure I get you. So now that we are here, let me go ahead and let you guys know that we have, of course, one of our regulars, Michael Anthony Fitness, as well as my main man, DMV, Dallas Cowboys. What's up, DMV?
What's going on, Mark? Glad to be in the studio today.
Well, you know, what?
Some people in the chat saying the same thing I am about Sean Lee as linebackers coach.
We'll get to Sean Lee. Look, first we got to figure out, before you can go ahead and start getting like the side dishes, you got to know what the main course is going to be.
Absolutely.
You don't go through and say, we're going to have a side of collard greens without knowing what the main course is going to be.
Absolutely.
Are we having, like fried fish? Are we going to have like, venison chili? You got to know what the main course is. And the main course is who the hell is going to be the defensive coordinator. But Sean Lee would be a good side. Don't get me wrong, Mike. I think Sean Lee would be a great side. So I got my man DMV in here tonight because we want to what we originally were going to start doing is, because we are literally 111 days to 22 hours, 51 minutes, and 25 seconds away from the kickoff of the draft. We want to start talking about some of the prospects and some of the holes that we're going to need to fill. So were you listening to that intro from ESPN?
Absolutely.
Where she was talking about, well, the defense is what it is, that they can't really add much because they're tapped out on money. Do you believe that? I mean, we're talking about
money.
That's what she just said. She said we're tapped out in money.
That's false. See, the thing is, you know how you create money? You sign your quarterback.
Sign your quarterback, yes, as opposed to 37 million. Yeah,
you sign your quarterback, you create money that way. That's another thing. Like we talked about this.
Ernest.
Oh yeah.
Mike, you got that? Are you gonna take care of Ernest? Ernest Ellsbury Jr. Mark, you are the man. Go Cowboys. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Any day that I wake up to me is a blessing.
Absolutely.
Especially after the shit that we've gone through in the last year. And it seems like 2021 ain't getting much better very quick. But so your thoughts on Mike Nolan being fired? When you first heard, what did you think?
I'll be honest with you. I have a different reaction that everybody is going to have. I thought he should have been fired a long time ago, like me and Michael Anthony Fitness talked about. Like the defense was really bad at one point where it was putrid.
Yeah.
And then they fired him when the defense started building something and they started getting turnovers. But is there going any do I care that he got fired? No. Do I think the timing? We're kind of stuck. Where it's kind of still COVID season, and we're gonna have somebody. We have somebody that's gonna have to come in and implement.
Gina, what's up,
do.
Gina? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to stir. I've got to recognize the lovely ladies in the house.
Oh yeah, the lovely ladies.
Roland's reviews. What are we reviewing, Roland? Oh, welcome to the channel. I don't remember you from before. I apologize, but welcome to the channel. So he has been fired. He's been let go. He's been kicked out of the building. His card no longer works to let him in there.
Ouch.
So the big question: are we a 4-3 or a 3-4?
I guess it depends on what you just said. Who's coming up with the main ingredients? Who's our defensive coordinator? I think that answers your question because we kind of implemented a little bit of both last year.
Which, and I'm not going to say that was a bad idea. Football is all about matchups. Football is all about matchups. But the problem, I think, is they tried to do too much too soon.
Yeah.
You're a brand new coach in town, and we don't have OTAs. And see, if it were like it used to be when I grew up. See, this is the difference. When I used to grow up, believe it or not, that one time there were 6 preseason games. Guys did not have, in the offseason, they worked a job because they didn't make enough money playing football. So they had to work a job. So when they came to training camp, they worked to get in shape during training camp and they learned the system there. Now it's different because of the collective bargaining agreements. You can you can say it's great for the players to be able to get paid, but they've gotten rid of all the practices. We used to have 2-a-days where, you're getting physically in shape, you're learning the system and everything else, and you're doing the work on the field. It ain't like that anymore. So now it's the OTAs. and the mini camps that you're putting in all of this stuff. And for them to go through and say, well, we're going to be a 3-4-4-3 hybrid, you're really kind of talking about 3 different defenses, kind of. Alex, thank you very much for that super chat. So, and then you got resistance, I think, from a lot of players that are like, no, that's not what I'm going to do. And that seemed to me one Jalen Smith.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing, this is too complex. No, listen, you do what they task you to do. You getting paid $10 million. And maybe instead of you out there swiping and everything else, you were paying attention to what's going on and getting ready for the next play. Maybe you would understand it. David Wiley, what's up? Thank you for
That's Jalen Smith.
So, I don't know. I mean, to me, we have more of the 4-3 personnel because that's what we were doing before.
Yeah, I agree. We do have more of the 4-3 personnel, and really, what Mike was talking about a little bit earlier, what do we do with Alden Smith?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about money and, being in a pinch. That's somebody that if you're going in a 4-3 or 3-4, he's somebody you want.
Oh, I agree. Now, the question will be is, Alex Smith, God. Alden Smith, look and say, I'm comfortable here and I'll take a team-friendly deal. Because I look at, Robert Quinn. Robert Quinn went out there. Alan Williams, thank you very much. I won't say he had the season that Robert Quinn did last year, but Robert Quinn signed a 5-year, $75 million deal to go with Chicago and literally got 1.5 sacks, I think, this season. He was putrid.
I think he had a better season than Robert Quinn.
So, I mean,
maybe not sack-wise, but I think he had a better season.
But so if you're looking at a contract, 5 years, 5 years, $75 million, that's $15 million a year.
But see, that's my problem, Mark. My problem is we always wait until we have to ask them for a team-friendly discount. Why were they not looking to sign him during the year, where it's cheaper, where it's less risk? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why are we waiting to the last minute? We always do this with contracts.
It's not just that. But what's up, Jessica? Oh, what's up, Jessica? But it seems like we do that with everything. Now, I'm actually surprised that we finally got Mike Nolan, because I was sitting here after hearing Mike McCarthy this morning saying, we've done the exit interviews with the players. Then we'll go through and we'll go into next week with talking to the coaches, doing the, exit interviews. It's the way I've always done things. And I was just like, why are we taking so long? Didn't we hear, a month ago that Mike Nolan wasn't returning? So why didn't we just go ahead and say thank you very much?
Exactly.
Right then and there. Why are we waiting?
Defense start gelling under him, and then, you know what I mean? Like, we have to admit, like, the defense played much better down the stretch, and they started getting turnovers, and they started changing game. Why did we wait?
And that was the key. Okay, we still gave up a lot of yardage, but we finally got the turnovers, which ended up translating into points. And see, that goes back to. We'll deal with that part later. But, where people say we should go get Deshaun Watson. And I'm kind of like, that they were 4-12. But we'll revisit that later in here. But we still have to go back to, are we a 4-3 or a 3-4?
I think that for me, personnel-wise, I think we're a 4-3. I have in my mind what I think could happen for us to be a 3-4. But if I had to answer, man, look at the money coming in. Okay.
Todd Wilson.
They're far too kind. They sending their money so much that I can't even get a point in.
Dak fan. Oh, my goodness. Dak fan, I'm running out of things to send you, girl. I'm going to have to mail myself to you. Wait, who else?
Man. Oh,
Lordy.
Like that.
Lordy. Good God almighty. God is good.
God.
Yes, thank you too much. God is good. It's just church up in here. All right. So, here's my thing. Here's what I think. I did a video earlier today when I started thinking about it. Okay. So Mike McCarthy and Marvin Lewis both have, they've crossed paths. In fact, they crossed paths while I think Jason Garrett was still in the house. Remember when we were talking about the Cowboys being slow to do anything? Remember Jason Garrett, who was the dead man walking, where they literally had the press lined up, watching him come into the Star every day, and going to his office. Daniel, thank you for becoming a channel member, dog. Oh, you're going to be able to see the exclusive videos. Make sure you email us right there, CowboysMark94, so we can get you hooked up. John, thank you very much for that super chat. So, you might remember that Marvin Lewis came in for an interview for head coach.
Yes, I do remember
the day
that.
before Mike McCarthy. So they actually know who he is.
I mean, who doesn't know who Marvin Lewis is? He's only the architect of the greatest defense ever.
Wait. I hear you guys. Oh, my God. God is so good tonight.
Add some of those fans over
Dak fan. Shout out to Dak. Oh, my God. You know what? I got to get up in Dak fan's closet.
Who is Dak fan?
I need to get up in her closet.
You need an
No.
adoptive son
You
right
should
now?
no. She showed me some of the stuff she found in her closet. I'm gonna go scouring in her closet because she had like an old school, like 1970s Dallas Cowboy jacket. She had like old newspapers from the Washington Post when the Cowboys were kicking that ass and stuff. I mean, she's got memorabilia galore. I'm just like, oh my God, that some of those things look good here in Cowboy Smithsonian. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Marvin Lewis, 4'3".
Mm-hmm.
You think about Ray and the Baltimore Ravens, Ed Reed and crew, and people. I know what you guys are saying out there. You're saying, "Oh man, I don't want Marvin Lewis, man. He got fired in Cincinnati as a head coach." But keep in mind, Cincinnati is one of those teams that really doesn't care about winning so much as it does keeping the funds low so they can pocket that money, because of collective bargaining, everybody gets paid.
Yeah.
And so it was always a cheap organization that never wins. It's one of those ones that, do you really want to take that job? It's kind of like the Jets. Do you really want to take the Jets job?
I think that Marvin Lewis, for one, if he knows and he's comfortable in his ability, why not be on the big stage? Because if you can fix how bad this defense was on the big stage, you're going to become a head coach again, and you'll probably be put in a better situation than what's out there right now.
Yeah, but here's where it gets to be genius to me. If you can bring in Marvin Lewis, because Marvin Lewis is trying to be like Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett today, and I hadn't heard anything from the Chargers, but Jason Garrett interviewed for a head coaching job. He gets fired by the Cowboys. I go do a year at the Giants. People think I did a good job, even though I think they were second worst offense in the NFL. But regardless of that, he's interviewing for a head coaching job, and more than likely will probably get one. If Marvin Lewis comes to Dallas for a year, the Dallas Cowboys defense, you got nowhere to go but up, right? You got nowhere to go but up with this defense.
Exactly.
You kind of restart and get people talking about you again. He becomes a head coach someplace else. We get a number 3 compensatory pick. Because the NFL has done a new thing. Okay, you got the Rooney Rule, which now you're supposed to interview not 1 but 2 minority candidates. And if you have a minority candidate for that becomes a GM or becomes a head coach, the team that ended up having that person and developing that person gets a 3rd round draft pick. Ooh. Which is pretty huge.
That is pretty huge.
To me, that's an incentive to look and say, the guy, and maybe some people will want a younger coach. I know everybody's all the rage, but see, I think you need a guy who's got some discipline and things like that. To me, I don't know if Mike Nolan had the moxie and stuff to really get like Jalen, Smith's attention and things, because I feel like, the old saying, the inmates are running the asylum. Mm-hmm. For Jalen Smith, Jalen Smith and all those guys, I think, had a part in running Mike Nolan out of here with the system because, it's too complex and things like that. I think Marvin Lewis is respected enough being that architect of the Baltimore Ravens defense, and even with Cincinnati, because when he went to Cincinnati, there was nothing there originally with Cincinnati. And he took those guys, because I remember one of my buddies, Vinny Ray, who was a guy when we first started working with him with United Way. United Way kind of said, we're not sure he's going to make the team. But he ended up becoming a really good linebacker and special teams player for him, developed by Marvin Lewis. So, he might be able, if he did that with Vinny Ray, a guy they weren't sure was going to make it on the team, he played for 10 years for him. Maybe he could turn around to Jalen Smith.
Gotcha.
And, you know, that's what I had actually hoped with Mike Nolan. I looked at DeMario because DeMario was a really good linebacker with the Jets, but he went up to a whole nother level. And the thing that kills me more than anything else, you know, we were talking Sunday in that last game. It's like the technique that these guys have is non-existent. Johnny Vella, thank you very much, man, for becoming a channel member, dog. Make sure you email us at cowboysmark94gmail. It's right there in the corner, so we can get you your shot glass. Okay, but the technique. I mean, have you seen such poor tackling before in your life?
I'm pretty sure I have. It wasn't on the NFL level, though.
I was gonna say, was it Little League?
Yeah, probably. Or, you know, I coach JV football, so I've seen some pretty bad tackling, and it's probably right up there.
And pursuit angles.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And linebacker keys too, like the linebackers reading the keys.
And
that
safeties.
was horrible.
Okay, I'm sorry. I mean,
and it wasn't that bad just a year ago.
Listen,
That's the only thing. It wasn't that bad.
I'm not trying to trash people, but you know, there's so many times where Xavier Woods literally was lost. He's literally running down the field and he's trying to figure out where the runner is and not know where he is, literally losing the ball carrier. You know, he's like, okay, it's kind of like a Patriot missile, right? You're the last line of defense. That means you got to be looking for those missiles that are coming in because I got to shoot that sucker down. Xavier Woods is down here. He's looking like, what? I mean, seriously.
Crazy.
And I'm like, is that the player? Is that the system? Is that what they're teaching? I don't know what it is.
Nobody looked that lost last year. So that's what you got to say. And think about it. We thought last year was bad. We were
Marcus B, another channel member. Shout out to you. Way to go.
We were middle of the pack last year, and we thought we were bad.
We were middle of the pack, but some of that was deceptive because, one, people could run on us, so we didn't have that many yards. I mean, people are running as opposed to deep passes.
Oh, people will run on us way more this year.
And if you can run on us, why pass? Why pass? But what, Mike? What's all
Oh,
this?
my God, Dak fan.
Oh my God.
What?
Oh, my God. Oh, God.
Oh.
I feel faint.
Oh, my God.
Some of them.
Okay. Dak, did you hit the lottery, Dak fan? Oh, my goodness. Oh, man.
You must be hitting some good points right now because, I mean, you know, she's just throwing out the money.
I'm telling you. I feel like I'm a stripper.
I was about to say that.
Shake your money maker. Hey.
Yeah, you putting those ones.
Woo. Okay.
You ain't getting ones though, man. You must be the creme de la creme over there.
You know.
You must be like Diamond and Players Club.
Hey,
man.
hey. You know, like a fine wine, man. I'm getting better with age. Oh, okay. So, back to Marvin Lewis. I think Marvin Lewis would be good with the players we have. He's not that I'm going to yell in your face guy. He's that guy that's a teacher and things like that. You know what I mean?
Yes, I agree.
And I think that might be able to get the attention of some of these players. It's 4-3. Okay, so it's, you know, or it could change up on us and try something different. But I think your players would fit to him as well. Who do you think? Give me a name here.
All right, so you know, I told you that I had to come up with somebody different because I do like Marvin Lewis a lot, and you know, I know that a lot of fans out there are gonna be like, "Oh, I'm tired of retreads." But if I had to have a retread guy or retread guys, it'd be these two guys, and the guy I'm gonna name is Wade Phillips. I saw it in the chat. I say Wade Phillips because if they commit to going back to the 3-4, there's nobody that's fixed more defenses than that guy. He's a Hall of Famer walking around, and I think he would love none other than to come back here and rewrite his name in Cowboys history. And you know what I'm saying? He's a Texas boy. You know what I mean? He's Texas made. And if there's anybody that could really right the ship and make this defense, you know what I'm saying, solid again, it's him. And really hasn't been solid since he was here. He was the last great person that we had here that really ran the defense, and we were like a really good defensive unit.
Shout out to all the new channel members, Johnny
PS5
Vella
Gaming.
and PS5 Gaming Channel. Make sure all you end up hitting that email right there, cowboysmark@gmail, so we can get you your shot glass and stuff. All right, so Wade Phillips. You know, Wade is one of those guys like North Turner that were great coordinators, but not great head coaches.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
And Wade was always really, really good. I think he got stabbed in the back by Jason Garrett.
I absolutely agree with that as well. I do. And maybe the same thing's happening with Kellen Moore.
His biggest mistake was benching Doug Flutie for Rob Johnson when he was with Buffalo.
Yeah.
Because Doug Flutie got into the playoffs, and because Rob Johnson looked like the prototypical quarterback and stuff, he benched him, and that cost him that playoff game. But be that as it may, I was trying to see how old is Wade?
He's up there.
Very old. But we also, our window for what we need as far as our roster goes and things like that, we're gonna have a point where our window is running short. I feel like Wade is ageless, in my opinion.
He's 73. Actually, I thought he was older than that.
But more than anything, he wants to coach.
Damn. So
He wants to coach right now. He's been watching Cowboys football. Like, you know how Mike McCarthy said, I watched
He's only
every
18
play?
years older than me? Damn, I'm old. Shit. Okay, I'm sorry.
18.
Damn.
You know how
I'm old.
you know how Mike McCarthy said, he watched every play to get the job?
You
I
know,
really believe Wade Phillips might have.
That's where he did a snow job on the Cowboys. Let's call it what it is. He did a snow job on the Cowboys, and Jerry Jones got sucked right into it. Oh man, we got a Super Bowl winning coach here. And see, here's what I think happened too with this, because they said, you know what, we need to do something different. We need to get a football person up in here. And once they got Mike McCarthy, they said, here you go. And he ended up picking all the people that he wanted. The Cowboys in past, they've always done what? Hire from within. You're either somebody who coached for the Cowboys or you're somebody who played for the Cowboys. And this was the first time that it was pretty much, except for Leon Lett, Kellen Moore, and what was the punting coach that became the quarterback coach? You only kept 3 Cowboy former coaches.
I would have kept Chris Shaw.
What is his name? Damn. He was our tight end coach, became the quarterback coach. Anyway, but
something like that.
Yeah, but those are the only 3 guys they kept. But normally, Rod Marnelli was there. They made him defensive coordinator because he was brought in because of from Tampa, who was old and overhill with the Tampa 2. But literally everybody has something. Jason Garrett, former quarterback. You had our offensive line coach, former offensive lineman. So if they got away from everything that was familiar and they said, okay, you the man, you're going to do this. But I think they're going to take back a lot of control from Mike McCarthy and kind of do a Jason Garrett on him.
Possibly. And that's kind of where I'm like, Marvin Lewis or Wade Phillips is good enough for me, because if they could I trust them to just run the defense. A lot of people, and I get it, you guys want some young blood in here. But if what you're saying is going to happen, I need a defensive coordinator that you could just say, all right, go run the defense, and we'll worry about what's going to happen over here, and then the team will work as a cohesive unit.
Right. Yeah, well, and ideally that would be great. But, and see, I think Marvin Lewis is low-key enough that he doesn't need to have all the rah-rah and all. I think he'd rather just go out and coach and work with the players and stuff. He would be good. I think Wade Phillips would be that way, too. I just wondered, at 73, he didn't coach last year. Are we sure?
But it's not like he's outdated. You know what I'm saying? Who was the coach we had last year?
Doug Messmeyer. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. Doug Messmeyer.
Rod Marinelli, that stuff, they were still running in Tampa in the 2000s. You get what I mean? Wade Phillips was still coaching and still has a football mind that works. It's not like he's football old and he's out of it. You know what I'm saying? He's out of his realm. Okay. I get it, though. 73 years old.
Well, again, I mean, actually 73 doesn't sound quite so old when I realize it's only 18 years for me. Okay. And I think, so I've been married to Tracy 18 years. Wow, that time flies. Oh, my God.
I mean, it's not like he's your head coach. He's just coaching the defense.
Yeah, he is a great defensive mind. Great
defensive mind.
Okay, so Wade Phillips and Marvin Lewis are our 2 picks here.
Yeah.
Anyone else you want to add to that?
I think that I need to watch some playoff football and see how these teams play.
The guy we hired from Minnesota, the quality control guy, what is his name? He's on the staff already.
Is it Edwards or something like that?
Is it Edwards? It might be. He might be a possibility. What is his
Because I
name?
know a lot of people were talking about that. It's like George Edwards or something.
George Edwards, that's it. George Edwards, because he's coached with Minnesota and everything else. So when people say Mike Zimmer, well, this is one of Mike Zimmer's guys. So maybe you don't get Mike Zimmer, but maybe you get one of his type people out there. Interesting. Mark, how much do you think Dak will get paid this year? That depends on how if it's the franchise tag or they go ahead and get a long-term deal. Because you could look and say Pat Mahomes' deal is 45 years average per year, but it's not really 45 million this year. Okay, it's a couple years down there. Carlos Fisher, wow, man, super chat.
A year or two more left on his
Well, they need to fire more coaches, man. The super chats in here are off the
same
chain
tonight.
tonight. I mean, damn. Okay, Pat Fitzgerald from Northwestern. You thinking of college? Are you thinking a college defensive coach? I think I would more say a college offensive coach than a defensive coach, because more NFL teams are running more college
high school type
offenses. I'm not going to say that I'm ready for a college defensive coach. That's just me. Marcus B. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too. A little bit late there. Pastor Gerald from North. Okay, so Law Nation fan, you definitely want that guy. That's a cool ass shirt. Well, see, I wore this Doomsday defense because I'm hoping that we can start getting towards the defense. Now, interesting thing. I don't know if you heard about this, but people have been talking about Deshaun Watson being unhappy. Okay. Now, all this originally started with Mike Farella. So I'm kind of, I think that this may be bigger on the media side than it actually is.
Might be unhappy.
It is. I mean, he may be unhappy, but we've heard, he's demanding a trade.
No, he ain't
he's unhappy because he wasn't consulted about the GM, and we've heard that. But he did make one tweet that was same old Texans, because the guy they hired for GM, of course, is another guy with the Patriots tie. And Patriots people don't necessarily have a lot of luck outside of New England, with the exception of the Titans.
Oh, and Flores in Miami.
Flores, okay, yeah. But when you look at some of the other guys, it's a long, you're like, damn, you sure you work with Bill Belichick?
Yeah, and in my opinion, like, if I'm going to go coaching trees, I'm going to stay the hell away from Bill Belichick guys.
Bill Belichick and Jason Garrett.
And the guys I'm looking at, man, I'm looking at Andy Reid guys.
There you go.
Guys hit.
So this is what's really funny to me. David Wiley,
Ray Lewis.
Well,
he got that country job.
One misconception is people think that a great player automatically will become a great coach. And a lot of times it doesn't. I mean, you figured, Michael Jordan, he'll be a great owner or coach, right? Okay. Didn't work out too good. You would have thought that Moses Malone, from the Wizards back in the day, center. God, I'm just like having brain farts. But he was their coach.
I know who you're talking about.
Oh my God. He had the fro like I got right now back in the. But anyway, the players don't necessarily, great players don't necessarily make great coaches. I mean, you think about, like, for GM, for example, John Elway. He can't find a damn quarterback. Have you seen anybody more inept to try and pick a quarterback than John Elway? And you figure John Elway, he knows everything about quarterbacks, right? He should be able to see one in his sleep. Yet he has missed so many times on quarterbacks. So I'm not sure Ray Lewis would be the coach, or would be a great coach. Now, Sean Lee, I think, would be a great linebacker coach, because you've seen him go through.
I think you groom him to be your defensive coordinator eventually. You start with the linebacker.
That's where I think you're headed with that, because I think, with Kellen Moore being re-signed, Kellen Moore is in that Jason Garrett fast track.
Okay, so I ask you this question.
What's up?
If that's the case,
Wes Unseld, thank you, man. Yeah. See, that's why I love you guys. Edwin, thank you, Wes Unseld. He sucked as being a coach.
If that's the case, why wouldn't we hire Wade Phillips to be the tutelage for him to take over? Since Wade Phillips is already probably one of the GOATs.
I don't know. Well, we'll have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, I see your point there. That's possible. That's definitely possible. But you take Sean Lee. Like I said, Sean Lee, the sad thing about Sean Lee is one of those guys that you wish his body had held up. Because Sean Lee's mind, he knows everything about it. It's just the body just can't get there anymore.
Yeah.
Would Ken Norton leave Seattle? That'd be a good Ken Norton Jr.
I would love Ken Norton.
Now
I would love Ken Norton, honestly.
But leaving Seattle, is he defensive coordinator?
I think he's the linebackers coach. He's not the defensive coordinator over there.
Okay, he you don't want to take keep it like
You can't take somebody else's DC.
Well, people are like, oh, go back and get Matt Everfuss. It's like, why would Matt Everfuss go for a lateral job? You don't go for a lateral job. You go for a job that's going to move you up the chain, And, Matt Everfuss is in the playoffs. He's got rolling with the Colts. Why would he come back to the worst defense in football with the Cowboys,
Exactly.
for the same job? The Seattle Seahawks are horrible on defense. Why Norton?
Exactly.
The linebackers aren't horrible.
There you go. Sometimes, okay, well, I see your point there, but you could go through and say, okay, well, why would Cowboy fans want Deshaun Watson? They were horrible this year. They only won 4 games. But we have Cowboy fans. This is where I was going with the whole thing about Deshaun Watson. It was almost comical to me because not the part about Dak Prescott literally going off on Twitter trolls, but how Cowboy fans literally are saying, one person said, trade Dak Prescott, Zeke, or Michael Gallup in a first-round pick to get Deshaun Watson.
Say what?
And I'm kind of like,
What?
or trade for Deshaun Watson. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, with Dak Prescott, we were averaging 32 points a game, something like that, right?
Yeah.
I think Green Bay is the most at 31 point something for this season.
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun Watson gonna get you 40 points a game as opposed to Dak's 31?
Man, Deshaun Watson's going to get sacked 1,000,000 times behind his line just the same way Dak did. He probably would have ended up hurt too.
And see, here's how hypocritical some of the fans are. You know how many times I've heard people, oh man, why are you going to pay Dak Prescott? He was 12-12 over the last 2 seasons. I'm kind of like, okay, Deshaun Watson was 4-12 with that team, right?
And keep in mind, they paid him and they traded his best weapon and they finished 4-12.
Right. So
how much of it was him?
Okay, but man, look what he did. Man, he had 33 touchdowns and 4,800 yards, and it's like, oh, you mean garbage time yards? Isn't that what you call Dak Prescott's?
I mean,
isn't that what they?
Watson, if that's the case, Deshaun Watson built a whole career on garbage yards because
That's
they
what I'm
were
saying.
always getting their ass whooped when they came back. Houston is always getting their ass
but
whooped.
so Michael, so let me go back, Michael. I agree with you. Yes, so last year when Dak Prescott was 20 yards less than Jameis Winston. What did they say? Oh, those don't count. They're garbage yards because
please.
you were 8-8. This guy was 4-12. So you're going to tell me that
Garbage yards is his middle name.
Are you going to tell me that those weren't garbage yards then? Is that what you're going to say? Because if you're going to say Dak Prescott, we were at least in a playoff race, okay? We were 8-8. This year was 4-12. So you're going to say that Dak's were garbage, but his weren't. Come on, man. See, this is how hypocrite. This is what drives me crazy about you mother humpers, man. Y'all stupid.
Yeah, and this is kind of why I don't like Troy Aikman during our games, because Troy Aikman likes certain guys and he hates certain guys, and a lot of this fan base probably hates Dak Prescott specifically because of the things that Troy Aikman has said about maybe him not hitting all of these throws.
Right.
But you watch Troy Aikman and all of those things out of the window when he's watching Andy Dalton.
Oh my God! Well,
He never dogged Andy Dalton for missing people like that.
You are 100% right
And a
on
lot
that
of these
one.
people are I promise you that's what it is. Because Troy Aikman was the only one that did that to Dak Prescott like that. And a lot of these guys think Dak is the most inaccurate quarterback. He can't step up. And you're watching Deshaun. You don't see Troy Aikman doing Deshaun Watson games.
Yeah, but it's so amazing to me because let's just take for a second here the whole concept of garbage yards, right? Right. Mm-hmm. Technically, it would be when the other team realizes the game is so far out of reach, we're just going to sit. We're going to clear the bench. if you're a defensive coach and you've seen that Dak Prescott's had 15 game-winning drives, you've seen them scoring lots of points in the second half. Are you taking your foot off the pedal and just saying, "Oh, we're going to rest people because we're way ahead"? No, you're not doing that with the Cowboys. Not with those weapons they have. You see how many games that people come from behind now? Hell, Kansas City
does it almost every week. They do it almost every week.
Malone
and they got the GOAT playing quarterback.
Thank you very much, Malone 82. So that whole thing is crazy. So, but anytime anybody is out there, it's always like, forget the people we got. Let's go get somebody else. And the other thing that drives me crazy is people are always saying, trade Michael Gallup. Why, when we finally have some things that work, do we want to get rid of them?
You know what's funny? And, I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. I never see Kansas City say we have too many weapons. Do you ever, they could trade McCole Hardman. They could trade Sammy Watkins, or they could trade all of the receivers and stuff that they have. You know why they don't do it? Because that's our identity.
Right.
And the sooner we, I guess,
embrace
accept that, then, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But Gallup should not, I get it theoretically. If you're going to go out there and get somebody that's going to help us defensively. But do you really trust them to go ahead and do that? Do you trust this organization to do that?
Okay, let's take the Raiders.
Okay.
The Raiders said, you know what? Amari Cooper's not that good. We're going to trade him. We're going to trade him and get something for him, right? And they thought, oh, my God, we got a first-round pick with the Cowboys. We fleeced them.
You want to know something?
Right?
Yeah.
They screwed themselves. Johnny Villa, I live in Richmond, Texas, but watching in Norway. Damn, that's a long way to go. Thank you, man, for that.
Norway.
Man. That's a long way. Is it cold in Norway there, man?
It probably is.
These super chats are just making me just lose my mind here. But they traded Amari Cooper, right? They got that first-round pick that they thought was going to be a top 10 pick, right?
Yeah.
Ended up being somewhere in the 20s. But they still looked and said...
it ended up being number 27. I looked it up the other day.
But they still looked and said, well, Amari Cooper only had like 240 yards in the first 5 games. We still made out, right?
Yeah.
They go through. They drafted who?
They ended up drafting Jonathan Abram.
Okay.
Safety.
Yeah. Okay. And he
knew I was on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was highly ranked, right? Everybody thought, oh, man, they got the bomb.com. I know that's old. I know that's really old. But they thought, everybody looked at that and said, man.
I got the stats right here.
Go ahead.
0 picks last year.
Oh.
1 game started, 1 game played. Then this year, 13 games played, 13 started, 2 picks, 6 pass defenses. 1 fumble recovery, 86 tackles. So that's solid for a safety. But is he Amari Cooper?
Hold on.
Is he Amari Cooper?
But wait, he's missed, I think, 13 games. And they say he's a liability in coverage and gets a lot of stupid penalties. Everybody knows, pass at him. And he's on that bust borderline right now. And to make it worse is, the Raiders are still looking for a number 1 wide receiver. They haven't been able to replace him yet.
And people were saying, Jonathan Abram, if I remember that draft, that was kind of a reach for them to go ahead and get him at 27, too.
Well, but again, okay, so.
This is making my case for later on.
Okay, so if you're looking at that trade, that would be us trading Michael Gallup and saying, let's get somebody else. That could be us. How about Khalil Mack? Do you think that was a good trade for them?
I do. I think it was a good trade.
But look, I'm still trying to understand how come John Gruden hasn't been on the hot seat.
Well, the Raiders played better this year.
They were still 7-9. He's been 3 years in and hasn't had a winning season yet.
Well, it's exactly why I didn't want John Gruden to be my head coach here in Dallas when a lot of people wanted him to. But
I did, and I'm going to tell you, I did because I thought we needed a disciplinarian guy. I needed somebody who was not vanilla like Jason Garrett.
Who did he discipline?
Well, he didn't. No.
What has he done besides have a Tony Dungy team that was ready to win anyway?
That's exactly what I thought he would be able to do. I thought that maybe he'd be able to take a team that seemed like we were always close. We were always 8-8, having the battle the last week of the season and couldn't get over the hump. Or we'd get into the playoffs and we'd have a catch, no catch, or we'd score too fast and we'd let somebody else score. That maybe John Gruden could have Jason Garrett and Will McClay, pick picking the players and he could just coach the team just past one more game. That's what I thought we could do with them.
Well, I hate to break it to people, and people are going to hate this. They're going to hate me for saying this.
They hate anyway.
Yeah,
they're going to hate anyway.
I think I always thought he was a good coach. I just thought that, people overstepped their boundaries. But Jason Garrett's a better coach than John Gruden.
Right now, by the ways of what you see going on the first 3 years of John Gruden being there.
I'm just talking about his whole body of work. Even though he won the Super Bowl, outside of winning that Super Bowl, he's been a pretty damn bad coach, and he has some talent in Tampa Bay.
Well, see, this is what I thought he was.
Oakland, he was okay. He probably should have had a bowl.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have
is a certain set of skills.
Particular set of skill.
And that's what I thought John Gruden had, was a certain set of skills that would help us get over the hump. But that didn't work out to be the case, or at least it hasn't right now, because his record right now is not good.
Yeah, him and Mayock, they're over there playing mock draft over there. They're drafting all these guys that are showing up in these mock drafts. And,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They're playing dress up over there. I don't know what they're doing, but I mean, they played better though. They played hard. They competed. This year will be the telltale sign of whether or not John Gruden was.
Well, they signed to that. I don't know how much that guaranteed, but it was a 10-year, $100 million contract.
Like Bill Parcells said, that third year, man. Now it's your real footprint.
No, all of it.
This is your team.
I think all of it.
And Michael, I have to agree with you about Tony Dungy. I mean, he literally built the team. And once that team got old, John Gruden wasn't able to rebuild it. And you're seeing that same carryover, I think, with the Raiders now, that he's
John
not
Gruden's
the guy to build it.
contract, I believe, was all guaranteed.
Yeah, so.
You want to know something wild?
What's
something
that?
wild is my cousin played for John Gruden, and he played in that Super Bowl.
Did he?
Charlie Garner was the starting running back of the.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was the starting running back of the.
Well, damn, we got a celebrity in the house.
Not a celebrity, but
okay, all right.
Yeah, but you got people. There.
So one of the things that we're going to start doing here, because like I said, we're 111 days, 22 hours. 10 minutes and 30 seconds away from the draft kicking off, and we're going to be ready. I hope you guys like what we're doing in here. We've got I'm growing on the set. I'm thinking about a big investment that, thanks to Dak fan, I'm a lot closer to tonight of being able to really get us some great coverage, because, you've got to constantly be ahead of the game. But my man, DMV, DMV, high school coach, played college football and everything else, has had some great draft insight for us in the past, is going to, on a weekly basis now, come up with a prospect that we should be kicking the tires on. So, what you got for me tonight?
Okay, so
number
fans.
one.
Okay, fans. You're probably gonna hate this.
Well, you've been saying that a lot tonight. You've been saying that you're going to hate. Why are you trying to make everybody
because I know they are, but here's the thing. We talked about this, right? They said that the defense right now, we're in a situation where we don't even know who our coach is, right? So, but the one thing that we do know is that we have a high potent offense. And the Kansas City Chiefs really showed you last year that you can't have too many weapons. And right now, they're the number one seed.
Wait, hold. Are you saying offensive weapon? You're not talking about offensive tackle.
I'm talking right now, what might end up being the best player available at number 10 will be Kyle Pitts from Florida. Kyle Pitts. Just run the tape, man. Run the tape. Because
the fuck is he talking about?
I promise you. Watch Kyle Pitts. Because, see, if you think Travis Kelce is what he is, Kyle Pitts could be very close to that. Now, I know what a lot of guys are saying. You know
what Mark's saying.
Yeah, we got two solid tight ends already. But what if I told you that all Dalton Schultz did was replace
David Wiley.
What if I told you that all Dalton Schultz did this year really was replace Witten's stats from last year?
Yeah, from a guy that we thought was just a blocking tight end.
Yeah, so that means...
And also, let me know if I'm wrong here. We scored with Dak Prescott like 31, 32 points a game, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
The leading scoring team in the NFL this year was Green Bay, and they scored, I think, 31, which would have been less than what we had. But Green Bay didn't have the 32nd defense in the NFL, did they?
No, they didn't.
So how many more points do you think we're going to be able to put up? I mean, we're going to be trying to score 50 points a game because our defense is ass?
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. See, this is what a lot of people don't understand. See, in this draft, number 10, it's an offensive draft this year. It's a lot of linemen. There's especially a lot of linemen. A lot of linemen first-round projection. So the top linebackers probably going in the top 5. Maybe you'll have some cornerbacks there. But this is a really heavy cornerback second round.
Unleashed said he's a little suspect in the blocking. He's going to line up as tight end or play wide receiver. For me, okay, here's my thing. And it may be because in college I was a defensive player.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. I literally wanted to throw up watching my defense this year. I literally would get sick seeing my defense. I look at having the combination of Blake Jarwin and Dalton Schultz and, along with those other weapons that we have. If I'm going offense in the first round, I need somebody that's going to really excuse me, my first round pick better be somebody that's going to be a day one starter that's really going to make an impact. And that would be if you're looking at an offensive tackle that could be a starter, then maybe I'm looking and saying, I'll make Tyron Smith a June 1st cut.
Or I'm trading him.
Or trade, something like that, and I'm getting a tackle that's going to start day one. I'm going to save some money and spend it in free agency. Or if there's nobody that's an absolute beast out there, I need defense. I need defense so bad. I need a safety bad. I need cornerbacks bad. I need another beast on that defensive line. I need linebackers.
Okay, so this is what I'm telling you, Mark. None of those guys are at number 10. They're not there. It just simply isn't there, and it'd be Taco again. Unless you're trading down from 10.
I don't have a problem with that. There. I don't have a problem trading back to 10.
I don't have a problem with it either. I'm saying if you stand at 10.
Because here's the thing. For me, every pick you have, it's a crapshoot. It's a 50-50 shot of getting a guy that's a bust or a guy that's great. Okay? To me, I don't care where you pick. The fact that you see the Eagles spending, how much did they spend to move up to get Carson Wentz?
We got Dak in the King's ransom.
Right. Okay. The same thing happened with Jared Goff. The same thing happened with Sam Darnold. All these teams reached up there trying to get a quarterback. But take a look at all the teams that traded for traded back in those quarterback, drafts. Mm-hmm. They're all the Browns.
Okay.
The Browns traded with the Eagles.
Okay.
You look at the Browns roster, their roster is actually pretty tight from all those trades and stuff. You look at the Tennessee Titans, they traded with the Rams. One of those picks was Derrick Henry, but they have, I think, 6 starters on their team right now because of that trade with Jared Goff.
Okay.
And I'm trying to remember who traded. Oh, the Cardinals traded with the Jets.
Okay.
For them to move up to get Sam Darnold. And here you see, well, okay, the Jets are still without a quarterback. So if I can trade back, kind of like we did in 2013, we ended up taking Travis Frederick and getting Terrence Williams in the 3rd round with that extra pick. I got no problem with that because we've got a lot of holes to fill.
Okay, so let me read off our last 10 picks. Because a lot of people think that we haven't been trying on defense. We haven't.
Trying. We just haven't been able to get the right guys.
Okay, so 2010, Dez Bryant. 2011, Tyron Smith. Mm-hmm. 2012, we traded King's ransom to go up and get
Morris Claiborne. The guy that everybody said was the best player out there. And I think I don't think they did their own research.
Okay. So that's one defensive player.
Okay.
Let me finish. All right. 2013, we traded back, like you said, Travis Frederick. These are all the first picks that we had. Mm-hmm. All right. Then the next year, we let Zach Martin fall to us, right? That's a great pick. Byron Jones, we let Byron Jones fall to us. That was a solid pick, who probably should have been back on his team. So Ezekiel Elliott was the next year, number 4. Mm-hmm. Then 2017 at number 28, we picked Taco, which was a reach.
That one was, and I think because when you watch that draft, I think they looked at that because I remember I was in Philadelphia for that. It was. Defensive linemen and edge rushers were flying off the board.
TJ Watt.
Cornerbacks were back there. Cornerbacks were all over the place. And that was when D-Law was coming back from back surgery and having been suspended for PEDs, and I think he had 1 sack. And we literally looked and said, we got nobody on the defensive line. We had literally nobody.
Well, there was a guy to pick there, and his name is TJ Watt, and we didn't do it.
But the problem with that was the Cowboys have this whole image of, we need the prototypical length guy and everything else. And they said, he's too short.
Yeah. So let me finish. The next year we got Leighton Vander Esch, which a lot of people thought was a reach.
Yeah.
And then in 2019, he's still, project, but
Tristan Hill.
No, Amari Cooper was the pick technically because we traded for, but we got Tristan Hill, and there was a bunch of safeties on the board. But Tristan Hill, I think, is going to be a pretty good player.
I think so too.
But have you noticed
he's actually got a motor. When you looked at his college film and stuff, he's a big guy, but he could get upfield, much like my man Gallimore. I actually think the two of them together will actually be really, really good.
I think so too.
I still would like to have another big body to go in there because it's a lot of pounding there in the middle.
Yeah. So my point is, right, out of those 10 picks, 5 of them were defensive players. Mm-hmm. We picked the wrong defensive guys. We were great at picking offensive guys because that's what we're good at. Mm-hmm. That's our identity.
Yeah, Will McClay is great at getting offensive players.
But here's another thing that I've done the research, guy. Our best players on our defense are who? Name them. Marcus Lawrence.
D-Law, of course.
Okay.
Right now, Gallimore.
Randy Gregory.
Randy, yeah.
Okay. Would you say Leighton Vander Esch is one?
If Leighton can stay healthy
not
enough
Leighton
I'd say Diggs actually is.
Okay. So what do those 3 guys have in common?
Oh man, stop. 2nd round picks. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Just because we've sucked at getting guys in the 1st round before doesn't mean that we will continuously. I mean, it's like flipping a coin. You can flip a coin 50 times and it can all come up heads. It's still a 50-50 shot the next time that it can be heads or tails.
So what defensive player that's a young guy had the impact that CeeDee Lamb had this year?
I don't think anybody in defense had the impact.
It's going to be the same thing in this draft. It's going to be the same thing.
But I think this year was the highest scoring offensive season, points wise in history. I think the offenses actually were able to take off better than the defenses because without the training camp, because you can go out there and you can run routes, the quarterback. But if you're a defensive lineman or a linebacker, there's not shit you can do about getting ready to play a season. You know what I mean? You can't really go out there and practice, the schemes and stuff. You need.
No, that's real. That's real. That's absolutely.
And I think that's one of the reasons why you saw the points going up through the roof the way they did. But that's just me. I could be wrong. It may be that just the offenses were just fucking fantastic.
Yeah. So for me, do I want to get Kyle Pitts at number 10?
Do you?
Is that my number 1? No. But if he's the best player available, and I can't find a trade partner, we just gonna have to score 40 points a game. It just is what it is. And we know that they won't. From this track record, they won't miss. They won't miss with him. They haven't missed with one offensive player in the last 10 years. Every last one of these guys got a 2nd contract. You want to know why we're spending money on offense? Because they keep drafting well on offense. I know it's a tough pill to swallow. And our 2nd round picks are the ones that get 2nd round. They get 2nd contract. And this draft is full of 2nd round, 3rd round, 4th round talent. And guess what? We got picks in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We got a bunch of them.
I hate to tell you, man.
You're fired. You're fired.
You're fired, man. Okay. I need some defense, damn it.
We can still get defense. All right, I promise you, throughout the course of this, I'm going to break down a bunch of defensive guys. I also did a video. So I did one on Kyle Pitts. That's on my channel, DMV, Cowboys Fanatic, Kyle Pitts. I also did a video on the 2 corners right now, Patrick Surtain and Caleb Farley. Who are also slated to be at that number 10 pick, which I think is a reach for both. But because I think the 2nd round talent is really good right now, J.C. Horn's pretty good. I really like Asante Samuel Jr. Mm-hmm. He's my favorite corner in the draft. But yeah, but Kyle Pitts is better than all of them.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. I hear what you're saying, taking the best player available, and I'm not disputing that CeeDee Lamb is definitely a player. Here's what's amazing. CeeDee Lamb ended up with 900 some odd yards, 2 touchdowns, 72 catches on the season.
Had a really good year.
If Dak Prescott and him had stayed together at the rate they were going, Peoples Aguilar, what's up? You know what his numbers would have worked out to?
Probably would have been like 1,100.
Actually, he was on pace for 1,385 yards, 6.5 touchdowns, and 95 catches.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Jefferson, who we've heard is ass, okay, had 1,400 yards and I think 89 catches. So you're literally talking about he could have been Rookie of the Year had Dak Prescott on that pace. Now, there's no guarantee it would have been that same pace, but you think about that. That's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
So while we're still here, and we can go on, you got to run.
Oh, I'm good.
Okay, all right. Well, I got to get back up to Mama too.
Absolutely.
But Dak Prescott situation.
Mm-hmm.
What do the Cowboys do?
Well,
do they go? I mean, we're here.
Why do you think I'm trying to get him a tight end here?
Well, yeah.
I'm not trying to get him a tight end, but
you've heard Jerry Jones saying that Dak Prescott got all the leverage in the world here and everything else. You're hearing Mike
shut the
McCarthy.
hell up and get a deal done.
You're hearing Mike McCarthy and saying, well, he's ahead of schedule and we have faith to get it done. Are we working on this right now? That's my question. Are we working on this thing right now, trying to get this thing done? Because to me, the clock is ticking.
Absolutely ticking. It's absolutely ticking.
A lot of people will say we should try and get the say franchise. They'll say franchise tag his ass. Franchise tag him. And you don't know if his leg's going to be there or not. Well, everything in football is a gamble.
Yeah,
everything is a gamble. Trevor Lawrence could break his leg the first day of training camp, and whoever drafts him is screwed for the season.
Yeah,
and the same way
it's kind of like Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Okay, we drafted the guy, but he ain't making it through the season. To me, you've got to sign Dak to a long-term deal before the end of February, and the reason being is especially if you're talking about drafting a tight end. Everybody keeps saying you can't do anything because Dak's going to cost you too much money. That's bullshit. You can go through and you can take Amari Cooper's deal. Because Amari Cooper, the good thing about his deal the way it is technically everybody's like, oh, it's a $100 million contract. It really wasn't. What it really was 2 years at $20 million. So we've already went through 1 year. He got his leg worked on, cleaned out and everything else. And for him to do what he was doing with a leg that he needed clean, his ankle that needed to be cleaned out, it's like shit.
I kind of knew something was wrong because he couldn't break any tackle. He still was balling. He was balling.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
he was our first round pick.
Okay, and done really, really well. So
yeah,
you could his deal basically his only guaranteed money is next year. You could take him and spread it, give him more guaranteed money and spread it out the life of the contract. You can save $10-15 million on his contract. You can do the same thing with Zach Martin's if you want to. And like I was saying, that you could technically do Tyron Smith a post June 1st cut. If you decide, let's move on. If you end up drafting,
if you get a tackle,
I'm just saying. No, I'm saying there's.
I wouldn't want to cut him because that deal is pretty good. It's a pretty good deal. But
yeah, I agree with you. I mean, if you cut him straight up pre one, then you're going to have $8 million in dead money. You're only going to save like $6 million. But there's ways that they can get money, and for them to say the Cowboys can't do anything, then what are the Eagles going to do that are $63 million over the cap? What are the New Orleans Saints going to do that are $90 million over the cap?
Can the Eagles file Chapter 11 bankruptcy?
I'm serious.
That's for you, Philadelphia. I see you out there.
Is he out here? You know what? The Eagle fans don't come around no more. They done left me. They've literally left me. I used to have fun with them. From time to time I'd see Philly 500 in here, and he'd be up here, batang, 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 all that crap. But they don't show up no more. What happened?
Philadelphia, how does it feel to know y'all got to get another quarterback? After you talked all that trash about Wentz.
Sign Mark for defense. That's okay. They don't want me.
The best thing Philadelphia has done all year is tank.
Tank
on purpose. That's the only thing y'all have done all year.
Oh, look, Cowboys suck. Well, we know we suck. Who's saying? You've not heard us say. I have not said we're great. I ain't said we.
We're trash. Trash.
I know we ain't no good this year. I'm not even gonna try to lie on that one here. You don't have to worry about that one. We suck this year, and I hope that we're gonna be able to do something about it. Now we look at our schedule for next year. Our schedule ain't that bad.
I know.
I mean, okay, here's where you look at it, because we've got the NFC South, right? Is Tom Brady coming back with Tampa Bay? Guy's gonna be 44 years old.
Man, Tom said he trying to
make 50.
He trying to play until it fall off.
Well, and okay, all right, well, okay.
We'll see.
So you got Tampa Bay, New Orleans. Like I said, they're $90-some million. Drew Brees isn't coming back. I don't think Hill's the answer.
Yeah.
Okay. And with them being that far over, they got to do a whole lot of restructuring, and literally, this is like it's going for broke this year, because they're going to have to gut the team.
Well, I was going to ask what kind of picks they got, because if they want a quarterback, hey, you can come up to 10.
Well, they're not in the top 20. I mean, they're a playoff team. It just depends on how far they go. I mean,
it's okay. Give me that second and that third.
Okay.
Give me that
all
second
right.
and that third, and where you at?
True on that. Okay, but I'm saying
then
that
you
we're
get
going
your
to play
defensive
them.
guy you talking about.
All right, we got Carolina. Carolina, that's another team that's going to be looking for a quarterback. So you're looking at that ain't that bad. Now we got the AFC West. Okay, we talked about the Raiders. I don't know if the Raiders are going to be very good. Now, of course, you got Kansas City, of course, which will be a beast.
Yeah.
Denver, they're trash. Chargers, they're getting a new coach. Might be Jason Garrett, right? And then we've got the NFC East. So we got the Giants, Eagles, Washington, right? Home and away. And then with the third place schedule, we'll probably play like the 49ers and like maybe the Vikings.
I expect the 49ers to be back. I'll be honest with you. I think they'll be a better football team. They were hurt just like we were.
Well, the question, but can you trust Jimmy Garoppolo? Stephen Griffin, what's up? Thank you very much. Oh, Stephen, I've done videos about that, man. That Jerry Jones is the new Al Davis. The parallel between the two of them is it's uncanny, because you think about Al Davis. Al Davis thought he should be the NFL commissioner. That's where the whole problem with the NFL was when the AFL and the NFL merged. He thought he should be the leader of it, not Paul Tagliabue. And that was where the axe was always there, and of course where he was always suing the NFL. And that's kind of like Jerry. Remember, Jerry was trying to get his own guy to be commissioner. He was kind of like, hey, we need to slow down on this redoing this contract and extending it for him. And you remember, he went up to New York, and I think he got bitch slapped.
Probably.
But remember, you remember, because this is during the Zeke time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and it was like, the NFL said, you know what, you're going to pay a couple $1 million in the fees and stuff on this thing. Jerry, we got the best lawyers, and we're going to fight this thing. And they went up to New York. He came out of the building, we're going to pay the ticket. It's like, wait a minute. Whoa. It's like, Jerry, wait. You said you were going to fight this thing. Now you saying you're going to pay it? What did they say to you?
No, you know what it was? You know what they told him? They said, look, we watch how you run your team, and you wait until the last minute to sign everybody. We're not going to do this with Goodell. We're going to sign them now.
No, what they told him.
We watch how you handle your salary cap. We ain't trusting you, boss.
They told him. They told him, sit your ass down or we're going to take your damn team away from you. That's what they told him. But in the end, I think we got to realize something, man. You must. I'm old. I'm 55 years old. I showed last week the first Super Bowl winning piece of memorabilia that I got when I was a kid. And I think about where the Cowboys are these days, and thinking about how it's crazy where we are now, how it's acceptable that had we somehow slipped in the playoffs at 7-9, that would have been considered a good season. And I just don't want to accept this anymore, because in the end, you know what you got to do?
Yeah.
You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then retire. Get out. Because it matters.
It matters. It really matters. And see, we need to be playing and coaching and owning to win the damn game.
Yeah.
So with this pick, we got an opportunity to reset this thing. I thought we reset this thing, and I thought that our defenders would come in and say, hey, we got a new coach, that they would wake up and, would be doing something different, that they were going to be, on edge and ready to fly and stuff. And instead, they just kind of were like, fuck it. That's what I felt like watching my defense. Fuck it.
I think to a certain point. I don't know at what point they started playing hard, but they did start playing hard. Maybe they felt the fire up under their ass. Maybe they knew that he was getting fired, and they knew that they was next, and they had to put some good film out there. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened either, because like I said, for just the fact that Xavier Woods said that you don't give 100%.
Oh, he's got to go.
I was just like,
he's got to go.
Oh my God, I'm coming to join you, Elizabeth. I couldn't believe that somebody would actually say on a defense that's trash.
Yeah, you don't give a.
You're going to say on a defense that's trash, giving up 32, 34 points. What did we give up to the Browns? 40-something? 49 points? 48 points? You don't ever say we don't give 100% every play. It showed.
Yeah, it did.
So, yeah, to me, Xavier Woods got to go.
He got to go.
Okay, now, I was saying to you, because I looked back, a couple of years ago, I was going through, and I was looking at how many safeties that are doing great that are taken in the first round, in the early rounds. Now, the Cowboys, they took Roy Williams in the first round, I think, in 2002. Since that time, we've taken 3 other safeties all in the 6th round. That's it.
Agreed.
In the course of 20 years. 4 safeties, 1 first rounder, 3 6th.
And you want to know what I think?
What do you think?
I feel like if they don't feel comfortable drafting safety, then sign one. Sign a good one. Sign a good one. Don't sign the bargain basement Georgia Loca.
This
sign
is my
a good one.
This is my problem with the Cowboys when it comes to free agency. In the same way we're talking about how they're always slow to the punch, they're slow at getting to free agency. We let everything go through, and we start bargain basement shopping, right? We're slow to fire coaches. We're slow to get rid of bad kickers. They're always slow to do stuff. The free agents we've been signing,
booty ass cheeks.
A lot of you won't remember, but the Kmart blue light specials. Okay, a lot of y'all don't know what Kmart blue light specials are, but it used to be Kmart before Walmart was a thing. Kmart was Walmart. And you go in there, and they'd have like a blue light that'd be woo woo, it was like a siren. And when you got that blue, oh man, you knew you got some cheap shit. I mean, it was cheap. It was gonna fall apart before you got to the store, but you weren't gonna pay much money for it. And that's the Dallas Cowboys. Because look, let me go. You look over here on your screen, my man. This is our salary cap. This is what I was talking about. This is for 2021 right now.
Okay.
Let me go back to 2020. Let's look at something down here. So as we go through the salary cap, and people say, we can't pay Dak Prescott because we need to spend money on defense. Take a look at this over here, dead money. Now, Travis Frederick, that wasn't expected, and we understand that one. But look at that. Dontari Poe, $3.1 million. Emerson Griffin, $2.5 million. Clinton Ha-Ha-Dix, $2.25 million. Darryl Worley, $2.2 million. Taco Charlton, we're still paying Taco, $1.3. Brandon Carr, $1 million. But wait, Brandon Carr, go down there further. He's on there twice now, okay, for another, $250,000. And then you got Gerald McCoy. So you look at all of this dead money that the Dallas Cowboys have, $23 million. Might as well say 24.
But you want to talk about signing your quarterback? How about you get better defensive players? They suck at defense.
Okay.
I don't know.
Isn't McCoy coming back though?
He might be. We got another channel member, RG2020. Ronald, thank you very much for becoming a channel member. Make sure you hit us here at Mark Holmes. Cowboy Mark 94 Gmail.
McCoy wants
How about, okay, if you take off Travis Frederick, basically we got $19 million in dead money.
that's almost enough to pay that.
How about you go ahead and say, we're going to sign just one really good, surefire free agent?
Thank you. I mean,
okay,
yes.
just give me
Yes,
one good
please.
guy that is a day one
Please.
starter that literally makes the roster better.
There's
That's
a lot
all
of
I'm asking.
There's some good safeties coming out too that are like free safeties. Anthony Harris from Minnesota, Justin Simmons from Denver, Marcus
Simmons
May
is coming in? Oh,
yeah. So sign him. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we waiting on? Get your quarterback deal done.
But everybody's
and sign
still
him.
focused on Earl Thomas. Man, let's go get Earl Thomas.
I mean, he's better than what Mark. He's better than what we got. He's
Yeah.
better than what we got.
Yeah, but you know what? I need somebody younger than that, man, and somebody without the baggage. Without the baggage, can I get somebody without the baggage?
I mean, not baggage is what we look like right now. That's the problem. That's the problem. They care too much about the brand over football.
And AJ Boomer, thank you for becoming a channel member as well. Make sure you email us at cowboysmark94@gmail so that way we can get you your shot glass as well. All right, well, Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman's getting up there too, and Richard Sherman's not a cornerback. He's not a safety, he's a cornerback.
I say you sign a safety. You got to sign a safety. You're not going to draft. And if you still want to draft a bum-ass safety in the 6th round, you can still do it and sign one.
Okay, all right. I hear you on that one. Jerry Jones to give Dakota a big contract or face the consequences. If Jerry Jones, we kind of talked about this between us. If they didn't sign Dak Prescott, what would the fallout be on that one?
I'd be part of the fallout because at the end of the day, outside of maybe Troy Aikman, and I mean, outside of Troy Aikman winning Super Bowls, he's probably the best quarterback we've had. He's the best quarterback that they've drafted for certain. You know what I mean? Because did they even draft Troy Aikman? Did they draft Troy?
Troy Aikman was the first round.
I'm talking about Jerry. I'm talking about Jerry draft.
Yeah,
Jerry. Drafted? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
He was our first round pick that year.
But as far as value goes, Dak Prescott is the best quarterback that they've drafted. And they've had some failures at trying to fill that position.
Oh, my God.
At trying to develop that position.
People don't remember.
And you have a top 5 to top 10 quarterback right now, and you're willing to throw that away over a year and a little bit of guaranteed money.
AJ Boomer, thank you very much for that super chat. Here's what's crazy. So we're 6-10. We're 6-10. Yeah, 6-10 this year. People forgot when we had 3 years of 5-11.
5-11.
And that's what it's going to look like.
Okay.
That's what it's going to look like. I don't even want to name all the guys that started that they thought that they tried at project. You can't project the quarterback position. You can't get quarterbacks and just put them in there and think that that's going to work.
What about Jerry Jones' grandson? They're trying to pick up.
Well, by the time he's ready, Dak will be done with his deal. Sign him.
So when you look up here, okay, what year was that? Before Bill Parcells, 2000. Dave Campo, 5-11. 5-11. 5-11.
And they had like 11. They had like 17 quarterbacks. And
oh my God!
They had Ryan Leaf at one point. They had Ryan Leaf. They signed Ryan Leaf.
And see,
oh my God, they had Clint Stoerner. Oh my God, Chad Hutchinson, Drew Henson.
I did not want Von Miller. With all
the best quarterback that they had in that time frame that they ended up drafting was Quincy Carter.
Yeah.
He
was okay, but he couldn't stay off the stuff, you know.
Now, let's go for a stroll down memory lane here. So after Troy Aikman and Jason Garrett, we brought in Randall Cunningham, of course, past his prime, Anthony Wright, Quincy Carter, Anthony Wright, Ryan Leaf, Clint Stoner. Don't forget Clint Stoner there. Okay. Chad Hutchinson, the baseball pitcher. Quincy Carter, went back to Quincy. Vinny Testaverde, Drew Henson, and then we traded for Drew Brees because that was a Bill Parcells guy.
Bledsoe.
I mean, Drew Bledsoe, excuse me.
I wish I had Drew
I'm having
Brees
brain
at that
fart.
time.
And then we had Tony Romo.
Lucked up with Tony Romo. Didn't
Right.
even draft him.
Right.
If
We
it wasn't
were
for Sean
lucky.
Payton, we wouldn't have Tony Romo.
And then, of course, we had John Kitna and Stephen McGee. So we went through a nice period where we were stable there. And, of course, we ended up having Brandon Wheaton, Matt Castle, and Kellen Moore.
Castle.
They
traded to get him, too. They traded middle-round picks for that. That was the worst. That was one of the worst trades that they made, in my opinion. But, hey.
Unbelievable. And the thing is he still quarterback 2 more years as a backup. Okay, and then you've got Dak Prescott here.
Yeah, Rodney Peete was in there. Somebody just said it. Steve Prezi said.
I think Rodney Peete was actually back with Troy Aikman.
No, I thought he came back at some point. Maybe he didn't. You might be right.
I don't think he. Well, it doesn't look like he started any of those years.
He may not have started.
He might have.
We had Steve Walsh.
I think it was 94.
Well, you remember that actually Jimmy Johnson wasn't sold on Troy Aikman. Yeah, he actually wanted Steve Walsh to be his guy.
Oh, wow.
And so, but it was because Troy Aikman, his first couple of years was ass.
That goes back.
He was terrible.
That goes back to college.
Yeah.
That whole thing went back to their college days.
But yeah, Babe Loffenberg, Steve,
so
Steve Berline, Bernie Kosar we brought in here. Oh, Rodney Peete was in there in '94. Played 1 game. Wade Wilson was in there. But the thing is that's pretty good stability that you've had right there with Dak Prescott. And people say, oh, well, Dak is injury prone. It's like, do you realize that before Dak Prescott made it through 3 seasons that no Cowboy quarterback made it through without getting injured in 3 years straight? It hadn't happened. So, and that wasn't
And it was a freak accident.
Yeah, that wasn't like, it was not a normal thing.
Somebody said Brad Johnson. Why isn't Brad Johnson up there?
Did he start? It's up there. I said it. Oh, with Tony Romo. He started with Tony Romo.
Yeah, because Tony got hurt that year.
Right. It's Brad Johnson. But I was looking from before Tony Romo and after.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
You know, how we had stability. I mean, Tony got hurt, but you look at, we were just trying to find a quarterback from the end of Troy Aikman.
It was the ring around the rosy trying to find a quarterback.
So as bad as this year was, remember, Dave Campo, we had 3 years of 5-11. And no quarterback. So if the Cowboys don't sign Dak,
what do? You can't get Trevor Lawrence. You can't probably get Justin
there's no
Fields.
guarantee with Trevor Lawrence either, though.
I know there's not, but I'm speaking because I know it's going to come up because people aren't doing the research.
The crazy thing is this year, I think you've got a lot of teams that are, okay, let's look at New England. You think they're sold on Cam Newton? I think they're looking for a quarterback.
Oh, they're going to get a quarterback. What pick do they have? They have a pick.
All right, the Jets. All right, Jets. You think they're going to keep? I mean, I think they need a quarterback.
If I was them, I probably would.
I'd trade back. If I was them, I'd trade back.
I would trade back. And honestly, do I think they need a quarterback? Probably not. I think that they just need to build around them. They haven't helped them. What if they helped them with?
Well,
then they just fired the coach.
If I can trade back and get me like 3 number 1s or something like that, you know, or a couple of number 1s in a couple of seconds, I'm taking that because I've got a whole roster that I need to build. If I draft a quarterback and don't have an offensive line to protect him, guess what? He's going to get killed.
If I'm them, I'm drafting the O-lineman from Oregon.
Okay, right. There you go.
That's what I would do.
That might keep Cam Newton for another year.
So, but we're just looking at how many teams are quarterback needy.
Yeah.
I'd say the 49ers are thinking about a quarterback. You have to be thinking about a quarterback with Garoppolo 2 years of being injured, right?
Yeah,
if you're the Detroit Lions, do we stick with Matthew Stafford since we're starting all over, or do we dump his salary and get ourselves a quarterback?
They're probably gonna move on from Matt Stafford.
Right. So you're looking there. New Orleans. Drew Brees is already talking about being in the booth. You got Tyson Hill, but I don't think Tyson Hill is.
They'll probably draft a quarterback late because there'll be somebody
so
there'll be a
you're
couple
thinking
guys
that they're needing a quarterback.
Yeah.
Carolina. Are you sold on Teddy Bridgewater being the franchise quarterback?
Nah, I think that Teddy was at this point no, unless you build that defense. If that defense becomes really dominant and you build that.
Beasley's production missed a lot. RG 2020. Thank you very much. That's super chat. Okay. Who else? Oh, Washington. I'm sorry. Alex Smith. It's a great story.
Washington definitely needs a quarterback again.
You know, when you talk about taking part of his calf muscle from one leg to the other and 17 surgeries, I'm not sure that's longevity on that career is out there.
Play a game, play football. That's it. Time to move on.
And I'd even put in there the New York Giants with Danny Dimes. I'm sorry, boy turns over the ball too much. So you're looking at a whole lot of teams that need a quarterback, and they're not that many in the draft.
Technically argue Denver needs a quarterback.
Oh, Denver definitely. I forgot. Yeah, Denver definitely does.
Denver's a dumpster fire all the way around.
Denver, yeah, but they better help John Elway is the one picking him.
Their ownership is
So
a dumpster fire.
as we sit here and say, screw Dak, just get rid of Dak. What are you doing for a quarterback then? We've heard Andy Dalton was the guy.
Oh, they want Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton. Hell,
I'm hoping Elway says Andy can come play with us and we can get that compensatory pick.
and more than likely, because there's a lack of quarterbacks, he'll get a job someplace.
The football gods can't be that good to me.
Well,
they can't be that good to me and give me another compensatory pick, please.
All right.
Please.
Well, here's what we got. We have been in way overtime
Absolutely
here. We've been in here
overtime.
for almost an hour and a half. Good God Almighty! And God is good.
God is good.
Dak fan, wow. Thank you so much, and thank you everybody who did super chats and stuff. That's a good start at my next dream. Last year's dream was getting the alien computer, which gave us all these cameras and everything else. Because see, actually, you know what we can do here? We're going. I'm gonna let my man DMV get the last words up in here if I can. I can't see. Can I get it? No, not that. That's not it. Nope, that's not it. Where is it?
We're trying to find the camera.
Ah, there it is. Okay. So DMV, here you go, man. It's FaceTime.
Oh, it's FaceTime.
DMV,
What's up?
you get the final words tonight.
All right, man. So my final words are, guys out there, it's draft time, it's off-season time. And the first start of the whole draft off-season thing is the Senior Bowl. I just did a video on this, on why the Senior Bowl is most important to the draft process. It starts everything off, and more than anything, you get an opportunity to see players, really solid players out there, play under coaches' tutelage, and these are your middle round guys. So if you guys want to be informed on all of that stuff, the Senior Bowl is January 30th, and that's something that Mark and I share because I know that this is where he found Dak Prescott. So if you guys want to tune in, man, I'm going to be updating on all of the Senior Bowl stuff, so you can subscribe to my channel, or and I'll also be talking Senior Bowl stuff with Mark on Fridays as well. But the Senior Bowl is definitely something that the Cowboys could utilize, and there's going to be some really good players playing in it. That's all I got.
All right. Well, Stephen Griffin, thank you. And Bone Crusher, thank you guys for the super chats. All right, so you see how we're rolling up here. You know you're on the camera, right? You know the camera's literally right there on your face there. Okay, so look into the camera.
Oh, my
here,
bad.
Okay? All right, damn. Okay. We're equal opportunity here. I got to thank everybody who's really. I mean, listen. It don't take much to actually help out, and I know this sounds like we in church today, preaching and all that. But all you got to do is hit the like button. Hit the like button. You hit the like button. That helps the channel. You put a comment on there. That helps the channel. And certainly if you watch the videos, that helps the channel. And we're going to go ahead and start getting this thing built up because we got to start fixing the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know if Jerry Jones is listening, but maybe he ought to because we can't do much worse than we did with this defense that we had. But we're going to be doing all kinds of news and things. My man, DMV Dallas Cowboys, does great film breakdown. Kyle Pitts, he's got a video out on there and telling you why the Dallas Cowboys, if he's the best player available, why we need to get it. And also over there, I got to make sure I give props to, where is he? Where is he?
Where is he? Oh, he's trying to hide.
Look, my man's always saying you're sleeping. It looked like he was over there sleeping. Shout out to Michael Anthony Fitness, who has been making sure he's taking down all the names. In fact, here's what we need to do, Mike. I need to pull a name.
Uh-oh.
We got to give a prize tonight.
Yeah, but that bucket's overflowing.
What about? Hey,
it's overflowing.
It's overflowing.
Well, all right. Well, listen, mix it up, and pull a name. We got to pull a name. All right. So you saying we need a bigger bucket?
Man,
damn.
Man, you might just need to dump that thing on the floor and pick one because it ain't fair if you just pick it off the top.
Ooh, wait. Okay, if you want to dump it on the floor and pick it back up, I'm okay.
I'm not dumping no floor.
Oh no! Let my man John pull it out because he's the guest here.
Okay, yeah, okay. There we go. with some of them falling out.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to mix it up so it's fair if you're going to try
I
to pick
know.
off some
Hey,
top.
look, I'm gonna pick from the bottom of the bucket. I got some of y'all out there, man.
I'm trying to make it somewhere.
Okay, watch. It'll be Dak fan again. She's always with it.
All right.
What you got? Drum roll piece. Hopefully you can read my chicken scratch.
Don't know who this is. Is it?
It's not that fan, though.
Let me see. Who
Sorry,
it is.
Dak fan. I tried.
Well, she won last time.
Osmodius. I saw you here earlier today. Osmodius. It's right
Somebody
there.
knew, somebody
Osmodius. I will go ahead and put that in the community tab. So, with that being said, it's time to grab your shot glass. And hopefully I have it in here working because last time it wasn't working. Where is my shot? Hold it. Oh, it's not. That's right. It wasn't working. Hang on. Damn. Hold up. Broke ass media.
Bam.
In full effect here. Hold up. Where is it? Don't tell me I don't have my shots. Oh, man. Hold up. Damn, we really in overtime.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Okay. It's not. Oh, it's not on here. Okay. All right. Forgive me. I can't do my shots glass. Okay. I got to reload it. Forgive me. Broke ass media done failed again. So, in the meantime, I guess this is what I'm going to do. Let me say thank you to all of you great fans out there because I appreciate all the support. Have faith. Be safe. Better days are ahead because Lord knows they can't get much worse than what they are right now. And it is actually time for us to turn off the lights because this party is over. Oh, actually, I got the wrong camera up on it. Damn. Broke ass media just
looking at
messing
me
up.
right now. Hey, guys.
Broke
Hey.
ass media just messing up here. Okay. Thank everybody for all you guys did. I will, of course, keep you guys up to date in case the Cowboys decide to fire anybody else. But turn off the lights because this party's over.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts.